that ironical to give a speech about education after Matilda musical? Yeah, you guys, you knew it, yes, to put me here first. So, why do kids prefer AI to teachers?
I don't know. No marks?
Probably. Yeah. Because AI will never say, hey, look it up yourself. That was a forced laugh from my coach. He promised me to laugh. Well, maybe this is not the primary reason, but the integration of AI in education is inevitable. In 1975, the first computers was introduced, sparking theories among the experts about the potential drawbacks. Academical dishonesty, decreasing social interactions, and even technological dependence. Ooh. Yet here we are in 2025. Safe, survived, right? According to the Chinese Ministry of Education, guess how much percentage of the schools are connected to the internet?
80. 100.
100. Right, you are. 100% of elementary and secondary schools are connected to the internet. Yes, you are. Right. Computers changed the life of our kids greatly. On the one hand, the exposure to the worldwide knowledge sparks the educational curiosity. But on the other, computers make it unnecessary for kids to learn the basic life skills. For example, reading maps or memorizing information. Instead, we're using GPS and memo apps, which makes us a little bit vulnerable and malleable. This is how our life has been already shaped by technology. AI in education is no longer a question of if, but when. Thank you. With the connection to the worldwide database, AI becomes significantly precise, adaptive, and even human-like, because it evolves from the collective inputs of thousands of people and draws us insight from the countless perspectives. But as we embrace this technology, a crucial question remains. Are we shaping AI? Or is AI shaping us? Imagine, you need to craft a speech for tomorrow's big presentation. Or maybe draft an email to pitch the new offer to your client. Or maybe you're trying to help your child with their homework. So who are you gonna call?
AI.
Right. Did I hear Ghostbusters somewhere? Now I know how old you are. Right, AI generators, of course, are remarkably handy tools for office workers, editors, writers, and of course, students. According to China Daily, more than 80% of college students utilize AI tools daily to assist with their homework. Disgusting. Mrs. Trunchbull. As a child development specialist, I'm only concerned with one thing. What do exactly kids use it for? Huh? What do you use it for? The answer is to get answers. Kids ask those virtual tools questions which spark their curiosity, and it immediately responds with the answer. Well, it sounds harmless, right? But is it that simple? Maybe not. Listen, AI is not just a tool. It becomes a daily companion for our kids. And it's already in position to change their thoughts, beliefs, and ultimately personalities. The goal of my talk today is to raise the awareness of the role AI already plays in shaping personalities of the next generation. Let's pause here for a moment and reflect on 3 key consequences of relying on immediate answers from AI. The consequences which could drastically change how our kids learn, study, and grow. So the first one is narrow-mindedness. Here's the issue. AI often provides single perspective and socially desirable answers, while the real life is, frankly speaking, more complicated and controversial. By failing to provide the range of the viewpoints, AI traps kids in a framework of narrow thinking, leaving them unable to just grasp the full complexity of an issue. Take, for example, debates on banning zoos or abolishing the fast food. Those are nuanced topics. Yet, AI struggles to present the diverse viewpoints, just leaving kids unable for the deep exploration. Here, you may ask, wait a second, how's in that case simply asking AI for the answer will be different from the research? Well, the difference lies in a process. Right now, kids still need to search for information. What does it mean? To read different sources, to consult multiple opinions, and to engage in discussions. This very process opens them to the different overviews, to the multiple points, prompting them to think critically. Unfortunately, AI shortcuts the journey, offering prepackaged answers, which make it unable, and most importantly, which make them not interested in further exploration. So this is how it works, unfortunately. And here where it gets even more concerning, the growing trust in AI. A survey named What Do Parents and Kids Perceive and Want from the Conversational Agents revealed something remarkable, yet a little bit unsettling. Listen, kids perceive the AI tools as more warm, trustworthy, and dependable than their own parents. That's right. Kids trust these virtual tools to provide more accurate information more than they trust people who raised them. And from the one side, it makes sense. After all, AI draws its insight from the worldwide database, which seems to be much more trustworthy than the opinion of individual, right? But here's the catch. This very trust undermines children's critical thinking. While seeking an answers from AI, kids again bypass that crucial moment of arguing, interpreting the context, and simply reading nonverbal signs from their real dialogue partner, which make them unable to develop that essential ability, cognitive and social skills, which are necessary to navigate the complexities of the world around them, simply leading to narrow-mindedness. Narrow-mindedness has a strong connection with the other potential harm, which affects the key element of learning, the process. So the consequence number 2 is sluggishness. By providing the immediate answers, AI robbing kids of something far more valuable than just solution. Have you ever spent hours struggling with the math problem? Yeah, I can hear some traumas there. Yes. You tried every formula you know, but nothing seems to work. Frustration builds, but you don't give up. And then suddenly, X, Y, Z. And here it is, a solution. In that moment, everything clicks. And you will never forget that feeling, how you solve the problem. Have you felt this?
Yeah.
Well, the truth is today many kids won't. Because instead of wrestling with the idea, the answer being handed to them by AI in seconds. So why is that important? Again, it's not about the solution, the correct answer, it's about the process, the struggles, the mistakes, the repeated attempts, the failures. By doing that, the process creates something far more valuable than just knowledge. It develops understanding. By focusing, trying different approaches, and even emotionally connecting with the problem, children build strong neural connections in their brains. And here's the magic. Those connections just not only stay in the classroom, they are very handy in their real life. Next time, facing the tough situation, kids' brain can reproduce the same problem-solving pathway, but quicker. And as long as those connections are formed, the faster brain become in finding the solution. An ability to think on your feet, to be adaptive, and to find the creative solutions is something that we call savvy or wit. Those are not just the buzzwords. These are essential fundamental skills for 21st century. Forbes magazine listed adaptability and critical thinking as one of the top soft skills on today's workplace. And essential skills for interpreters, risk managers, editors, and probably TEDx speakers as well. Now we talk how the AI could affect kids' worldview, affecting their wit. But the most heartbreaking potential impact had to do with their relationship with themselves. So now the consequence number 3, inner insincerity. As the trust in the AI grows, so does the nature of the questions that kids ask. Kids are willing to ask more deep, personal questions. How do I make friends? Is it okay to lie? How do I respond to bullying? Those are the questions which lies in the heart of shaping the personalities. Those are the moments then kids face moral dilemmas, learn to make choices, and then later to live with the consequences. Traditionally facing such dilemmas, kids turn to the experience of the others. Or they do something even better. They listen to their inner voice. Inner voice, this is that moral compass which lies within us. It helps us to make the decisions which in line with our true selves. It's not something we've been born with, rather than something we cultivate through experience, errors and trials and reflections. The inner voice starts to build the moment that kids try to navigate their emotions, values, and feelings. But here's the problem. AI, again, bypass this crucial process. And instead of grappling with their own feelings, trying to fight with uncertainty and explain the different pathways, kids been given a polished, socially acceptable answer. And while this answer seems to be correct, it doesn't come from within. So what is the result? Kids lose the opportunity to develop their inner voice. They stop building that essential ability to listen to themselves. Instead, their sense of morality stops shaping based on something that we call a socially acceptable behavior found online. And this is where it gets ironical. inability to form their moral compass creates a pretense, a lack of authenticity in them. Do you know how do we call it in other words?
Nope.
Artificiality. So now then we know the key consequences of AI in the future generation, which is being narrow-minded, dull, and insincere. We're probably left with the big question. What do we do to protect our kids? We've got a question. And we want an immediate answer, right?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar, right? Well, now the bad and the good news. First, the bad ones. There won't be an answer.
No.
Sorry. I believe the answer shouldn't come from me. At least not now. I'm sure it should come from you and later. Whether that means to consult with the ones around you, to make your research, or to listen to your inner voice. Now the good ones. We still have time. Though the integration of AI to education is inevitable, it's a slow process. So take your time. Time to reflect, to judge, to act, or not. Engage with the process and savor that sensation of real thinking. And I believe that each of you could come out with their unique, special, authentical solution. After all, authenticity is that rare and beautiful thing that makes us undeniably human. And yes, this is something we do. Make sure he doesn't listen to me. We do far better than AI